Facebook Live, we have arrived one more time. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Privileged to be before his children, once again. What a privilege to bring forth a word one more time. We just got through singing our song, and now we're going to get into prayer and get it in. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thanks for chiming in. Big Ken in the building. What's up, man? Pastor, Shabbat Shalom. Pastor Gillette. Jeff Brown. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I wanted to do a part 2 because I really didn't get a chance to finish when I was teaching in James the other day. So I'm going to pick it up. We'll probably cover some of the things we talked about, and then I won't have to cut it short this time. Or will I?
Nah.
I pray I don't. So let me hurry up and get started. Here we go. Quick prayer. Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you, humbly to know how. Believe in you at your word. Ask you to forgive us all sins, to forgive those who sin against us, and continue to cause us to grow in you. Continue to give us revelation concerning the truth of your word, and we'll govern ourselves accordingly. And we ask this in the matchless name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen. Here we go, y'all. James 1. Let me put these glasses on, regrettably, right?
I need to put mine on too. James 1, chapter 1?
James 1:1. Yes, mother.
Okay.
Here we go. James, a servant of Yah and of our Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of our faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And what that wanting nothing is lacking nothing, right? If any man lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yah. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, here we go. Just a brief overview, but again, like to count it all joy when you're going through trials and tribulations, which are really tests, right? So in order to count it all joy, right, you gotta be at peace with the Most High. You have to be at peace with the Most High and understand what's going on. You got to be at peace with the Most High, and you have a general understanding of what's going on. You got to know, right? Or else being saved will seem completely chaotic. Because folks can misinterpret their tests and trials with punishment. Folks can interpret, what they're going through as a way of punishment. Now, don't get it twisted. Sometimes it is.
Okay.
Sometimes it is. But you notice how the word says that all things work together for the good to them that love Yah and called according to his purpose, right? So long as you belong to him, even if you're being punished, it's still working for your good.
Oh, okay.
All the way down to when Hebrews 12, when it talks about, despise not the chastening of the Most High, neither faint when thou rebuked of him, right? Because whom he loves, he chastens. He corrects you, right? So whether you're bringing problems on yourself or it's just a part of the test, it's still all working. It's still all working for your good. So you got to know that, right? So to count it all joy is you're happy that you're a part of the family or was adopted. Even if you were adopted, say if you were grafted in, you're still a part of the family, right. And you're a part of him raising you. You're being raised by him. Again, you got to know that though. You got to understand that. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, many temptations. When you fall into diverse temptations, you got to know what is going on in order to count it all joy. Sounds crazy that one would count it a joy when they're being tested. It would seem weird. Now, if we can mess around and get the word in us, if we can hide the word in us, right, we can get the word in us to the point that we're spiritually alive, we've been quickened and made alive, and we really understand that to the day-to-day operations of our life. In other words, like, who you live with giving you the blues, right? Family members giving you the blues, right? Financial trouble, right? Health issues, not feeling well, sleep deprived, or whatever the stuff that, pile on a person, right? But yet you're still obeying him is the key. Nothing that I'm talking about is applicable if you're not obeying him. Make that straight. Right. Because even when we do wrong and he starts to whoop us, the ideology behind that is you start obeying. You repent, right? You belong to him is the key. So the state of mind that is suggested here is to be able to count it all joy because you're a part of the family. Because your name is written. Because you really belong to him. So before we came to him, our happiness was locked up in our carnal nature, right? What we saw, what it smelled like, what it tastes like. What it sound like and how we felt. That's how we lived. But when you're born again, you don't live off your five senses no more. Not like that. You still have it, but you don't live like that no more. These are like the 5 gates to living on earth. The 5 necessities that will help one navigate in this natural realm. But when you're born again, you now abide in the kingdom of the Most High. So one, you're happy that you have a relationship with him and that you're born again, right? And so whether the success in this temporary place is accomplished to fleshly satisfaction is immaterial now. Like I don't live to get paid, right. To floss smoke. That's not what it's all about. Right? We wear this place like a loose garment. Like we just passing through. And we know we get older and things change and so we passing through. We're pilgrims. We're pilgrims passing through, right? So I can count it all joy because now the things that happen to me in this life, I know it's a test. Right. I know things are coming to see if I would obey him or not. Like again, back to Deuteronomy. He sent them through the wilderness to see if they would obey him or not. He was proving it to them or whether or not they would obey him. It's simple. The situation came to see what you're going to do. Now, if you do what you're supposed to do, then he gonna bless you. You end up better off, even in this natural realm. In most cases, in all cases, but I'm saying you can physically benefit in this realm from obeying the Most High.
Right.
That's not your motivation, but you can, right? So again, here we go. I'm just trying to qualify the state of mind that counts it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. Things are going wrong, but you don't go crazy like the average person. You don't lose it. You don't quit. You don't give up. You don't throw in the towel. You can count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, right? Knowing this, you got to know. Not only do you got to know, but in this knowing is being satisfied with it. Like you got the Most High. You got a relationship with him, and that's your ultimate satisfaction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Having him supersedes having the job or the money or the success or the whatever it might be. I got him.
Right.
Some people can really jump up and start dancing based on having him.
Right.
Carnal person can look at them and say, ain't they broke? They don't even have a car. What they dancing for? I got a car and I ain't dancing. because your heart is not where theirs is. If we mess around and start achieving scripture, right? Eddie Carver, how you doing, man? Rhea, good to see you on. But if we get to the point, that we love him with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, that's how we be able to pass all tests. Because at the end of the day, if it never go my way in this life, I got him. If I never become the superstar, get super paid, whatever people is after, if I never get that, life has been achieved for me. I got him. Which puts me again to describing a state of mind that can count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. And then to qualify that state of mind, it went on to say, knowing this, you got to know something. You got to know what's going on. Knowing this, that the trying of my faith worketh patience, the testing of my belief. Now, always keeping things in its proper perspective, right? We don't want the faith that don't work. They just say, I believe in him. Right? We want the faith that produces a lifestyle, that produces action, right? Knowing this, that the testing, the trying of our faith worketh patience. Look. Living this life is not all about talking. It's deeper than just talking. It's way deeper than talking. Mm-hmm. Anyone can talk. In fact, we all was raised in church for the most part, right? We know a bunch of talkers. In fact, we was one at one point, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. One that talked a real heavy, anointed, you know what I mean? We had a Holy Ghost talk, didn't we? We could talk a good one. We could speak on how much we love the Most High. But in this race, it's all about action, right? We got to know what's going on. That the testing of our faith is being tested. I'm going to park right there, right? Our faith is being tested. Tested. We're being tested to see whether we would serve him or not. Let me requalify. New Testament is conclusion of Old Testament. It's revelation of what it really was talking about. Old Testament allegories and stories, right? New Testament is the fulfillment of that and what Yah really was trying to say to his people, to get us to walk in the Spirit, not just having a form of it or outward appearance, but now he's dealing with the heart, right? He says stuff like, it was said of old, you shouldn't commit adultery. But then the word went on to say, but if you lust after a woman in your heart, you've committed adultery already, because he's really after our character, right? So it's the fulfillment of natural. Was there anything wrong with saying thou shalt not commit adultery? No, that's true too. But the fulfillment of it is don't even do it in your heart, right? And so this is the fulfillment, right? So We're counting it all joy when we fall into diverse temptations, when all kind of stuff is happening, right? All kind of stuff is coming against us. We're able to count it all joy because we know something. We know that it's a test. And in the test, when you obey, you're being tested, you're being tried in every aspect, right? You could be doing right and somebody else is doing you wrong. What you gonna do, faint? Be not weary and well doing, for in due season you'll reap if you faint not. It's a test. You'll be tested in, like say, anyone that say they're going to be faithful to Yah, right? You're going to get tested in being faithful to him. In other words, like if it say, forsake not the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more you see the day approaching, right? You're going to get tested in coming. Period. You don't get to say it. You don't get to know it and read it. You're going to get tested. And what you don't want to happen is you become religious. Because religious people start making excuses for themselves when they start getting tested and start flunking. Folks come up AWOL, not as faithful as they used to be. And then if you talk to them, you can see the development, because that stuff work on you. You see the development of religiousness. Oh, it's slick in this race, right? You start seeing, like if you talk to them, if you don't say nothing, then they cool with themselves and they're not going to feel me. They headed the wrong way, don't even know it. But if you bring it up, a lot of times, they've been worked on by the enemy because they'll come up with why. And it won't be acceptable to Yah more than likely, but to them it will be. That's why you got to be careful, right? But it's a test. So you got to know what's going on, that you're always being tested in everything. You'll get tested like in your giving. You give, now you don't. Now, again, when you love the Most High, you're going to feel bad about it. When you love the Most High, but you're being deceived, you're going to make an excuse about it. So then you'll start, to you. Now, when it comes applicable is if it turn into a conversation. If it don't turn into a conversation, then unfortunately people start justifying themselves within themselves. That's why in Ecclesiastes talks about woe to him that fall when he's alone. I'm trying to teach y'all, but there is a when a person falls alone, what that describes is there's no one there to help you. In other words, like withdrawing. When Adam and Eve sinned against the Most High, when the Word started walking in the garden, they ran from it and hid because they were avoiding the Word, because what they did wasn't right and their conscience wasn't cool. And that's what people do. When, like, say, you know how the words say, like, know them to labor among you and all that, right? The most intimate thing you can do is be saved, right? Part of it is communication. That's why forsake not the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, right? It's communication. Well, when a person is doing their own thing, they don't want to communicate like that. Get up off me. What you calling me? Well, you too close up on me. I need some elbow. What is this, a cult? What's going on? You want your elbow room. That's what Adam and Eve, they ran from the Word. They wanted their elbow room. Get up off me. Word was coming. Let's run. Where art thou? He didn't go for it, right? He still wanted to talk. So talking and communication cause transparency. And then that's when diagnosis come to help, right? So conversation come, then you can see how much, shall I use the word poison?
Yeah.
How much poison is in there? Where you been? Oh, how you? I'm still reading, though. Oh, okay. I hear you. That's poison. I'm still reading, though. What does that mean? You never supposed to. When you was coming the first time faithfully, when you reading in too, you don't stop reading. But don't give like you know. Don't show up, right? Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. You're being tested, knowing this that it's a test. You got to know that it's a test. Knowing this, that you're being tested, watch this. When you're passing the test, it's working patience. When you're passing the test, it's working patience. If you're flunking the test, you ain't getting no patience. You're lining up to get disciplined. And in Corinthians 11, it say that when we judge ourselves, we won't be judged. When we're judged, we're chasing the Yahudah, we won't be condemned with the world. Then he'll start whooping your behind. And he'll start whooping you if you belong to him. He'll start whooping you because you're headed in the wrong direction. Are you following me? Oh, you headed in the wrong direction. You tripping, right? Right? So knowing this, that it's a test, and what it's supposed to do as you pass it, divers temptation, you count it all joy because you know what's going on and you're still obeying him. The testing of the faith. Remember, faith is not just saying you believe he exists. Faith is doing what he say.
That's right.
Because without doing what he say, your faith is dead, right? So the testing of your obedience while being tested is what's happening, right? The testing, the trying of your faith, working patience. Meaning, I'm learning how to wait on him. It's not going my way, but I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to start cussing. I'm going to start lying. Look at this. Look, I'm dating them. Like I said last time, right? I'm dating them, but little Philadelphia cheese over there with her little mini skirt, she be all up in his face. I better go on and give him some. Can I preach like that? I'm gonna do it. You jokers doing it, ain't they? Well, you ain't supposed to say that, but then you keep your little mini skirt down. Then tell me what I ain't supposed to say. I better give him some, or else I'm gonna lose him to this little Philadelphia sitting there with her little snick, and he said, "Okay." You look. You can't, that to try your faith work with patience, you got to learn to wait. Because when you give in, and then the Most High destroy the relationship, now you're back at the drawing board. You flunked. That's the trying of your faith, the test of you belonging to him and going to obey him. The trying of faith work with patience. In other words, I ain't going out like that again. Insanity is doing the same thing except expecting different results.
Right.
Somebody desperate and carnal will do it again. The little cutie come up again, and then you gonna sleep with him again, expecting for to get married, and then the bottom fall out again, and then you say, "Oh, I ain't gonna do that." You do it again. It's gonna work this time. No, it ain't. That the trying of your faith work with patience. You learn to wait. I'm not gonna go off. Learn to be quiet. Quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. It's a test. He's raising you up. He's grooming you. Some of us talk too much. That the trying of your faith work with patience. Let patience have a perfect work. Patience have a perfect work. Patience is working on you. What is it doing? It's teaching you that he got you. It will prove that he's faithful and he gonna come through and he gonna fix it. He gonna deliver you. He gonna set you free. Your name is written. You when death come, it ain't gonna have no business with you. When death come, y'all ain't gonna have nothing in common. Because you inherited the resurrection because you learn to wait. Haste make waste. You move it too fast. Wait. In other words, keep obeying him. Even when it look like if you take matters in your own hands, it's gonna work out. No, wait. Let patience have a perfect work. That's what it said, y'all. Right there. It said, let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect. You're walking in perfection before him. Lacking nothing. King James verse say, wanting nothing. Lacking nothing. Look it up. It means that I'm equipped. I bring forth the right action in due season. When the tests come, I respond right. My response is right. That I bring forth fruit in due season. Due season is what's happening. You're lonely. What's happening? You're broke. What's happening? I don't feel like it. What's happening? Whatever's happening in your life, you do what's right. And you don't want to. Sin is so deceitful, you start doing religious stuff as opposed to what's right. You do religious things as opposed to doing what's right. This always shifts, right? It be shifts, right? Let me teach y'all this. It shifts, right? It's like say if say you got a couple of people. You got a couple people that Yah uses to feed the people. Because the other people are either carnal and don't care, or something happened to those that do care, but they can't right now. You know what I mean? Say a situation came and, they're taking care of somebody in the family and they got to, and it took all their time. They used to go feed. So then he shifts stuff, right? He shifts, and now someone else is going to feed now because they love him as well, and he made a provision for them to be able to do it, right? And so, but then they get attacked, the ones that can do it. They get attacked because, say, they don't love him like that no more. So they come up with, I ain't got time for all that. I can only do so much, whatever it might be, right? So then now, the person who Yah was blessing is now suffering. And they're not being taken care of like they were at first. And Yah was doing the provision. So now, not only is it a test for the people that he shifted and gave them opportunity to do, but the person that was supposed to be done for didn't get it. So now it's a test for them. If they're going to get a grudge with Yah. He's still taking care of them, just not on the level that he was. Shifts. A body. Working together to do the will of Yah. We're baptized into the body, Corinthians 12. We're baptized to the body and everyone is given positions. But unfortunately, people that are in the body don't always function. Unfortunately. Folks is carnal. They don't love Yah like that. A lot of people love themselves like that. They about themselves. And which will cause the body to, for the lack of a better term, suffer. But we're supposed to be the type that can suffer and count it all joy. Because that's another test. Count it all joy when you fall into many temptations, knowing what's going on. You're being tested. Folks, things is not going to always go the way it's supposed to. Folks is not going to always do what they're supposed to do. Are you still willing to still do what he told you to do? Knowing this, that it's a test of your faith. Let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. I still can love. I still can forgive. I still can show up. I still can feed. I still can preach. I still can teach. I still can. Oh, this ain't right. And they should be doing. They should be, but they're not. Now what? You gonna turn on them because they did? Let patience have a perfect work, that you be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. Right? Look what it say. It say, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah. Okay, so things is going on in your life, you don't understand what's happening, and I love that. I love when people go through. They know, they know Yah. They know what's up. If any man lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah. Okay, now to stay on the same page as the scripture, right? The person that will be asking Yah what's going on is the person that's obeying him while being hammered, right? They're going through it. They're going through it, but they're obeying him. I'm being honest with you. That's what the scripture is saying, right? Right? This is the count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. Like this person is able to count it joy even though it's rough on them. Right. Because they know they belong to him and they passing the test and they growing and then, and he said, and then wait on me. And let patience have a perfect work. So they waiting and obeying while they waiting and they going through, but it's getting rough. So then they got to ask Yah, man, what? I'm not speaking in tongues. I'm hurting right now. So he said, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah, who gives to every man liberally and upbraideth not. Meaning, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'm not gonna leave you guessing. I'm not gonna leave you guessing. I'm not. Look. This is what I'm working. You finna go higher. I'm working on you. I'm working on you so that I can trust you for your next assignment. I gotta be able to trust you. You gotta know that you can't depend on people. You gotta depend on me. So I'll get you ready for that. I'm going to whoop their butt because they still supposed to be doing it, right? That's how it works, right? Mm-hmm. Whoever ain't doing what they supposed to do, he going to see them. Yeah. Oh, without question. And if they're not doing what they're supposed to do and they don't belong to him, he really going to see them. You don't want to see me. You don't want to be that joker. You know what I mean? But those that belong to him, he going to deal with you. He going to what are you doing? Get back up and start doing what you're supposed to do. Because it ain't no hiding place for none of us. There is no hiding place for nobody. Right? One hiding place that seems to be a hiding place, which is a temporary one, is to run from the word like Adam and Eve did. You know what I mean? Get you a fake church, then you go and then Jesus and it's on. Yeah, you can dance and flop your little hairdo and all these. Woo. But when you sit up under truth comes the responsibility of the true death, burial, and resurrection. And it's not just his death, burial, and resurrection, it's yours too. Because we was baptized into his death. And like he was raised up by the glory of the Father, even so we should walk in the newness of life. So we mess around children and we get saved too. Or at our little young age, we obey the Most High. On the schoolyard, we obey our parents. We still do what we supposed to do. Period. They got the little baby Bibles and the little kid, you know. So we still read and we pray and we talk to them too. Right. On our level. All the way down to these little babies right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yahudah well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You about to weep too. Did you do it? Tell the truth. That say sorry, tell y'all sorry, and that come here. But we can count it all joy when we fall into diverse temptations, right? Knowing, you got to know. You got to know you're being tested, and you got to be honest enough with yourself to know when you flunk it. Folks don't like that, huh? When you flunk it, when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you don't want to unintentionally be morphed into a religious person, because that happens a lot. It happens all the time. King Saul, right? King Saul was a good dude, and when he got confronted by Samuel in 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter, right? Most High told him what to do. He didn't do it. Well, when he was being addressed by him not doing what he's supposed to do, he said he did do what he's supposed to do, though. That's the key. That's what people do. They say they're doing what they're supposed to do. No, you're not. And then that puts me in a weird one like a Samuel, right? I'm going to tell you, no, you're not. Who is you? See, that's why I don't serve man. I hear you. But anyway. Oh, it's the truth. I'm preaching the truth. Don't get it twisted. But see, what he said to him was, when he first chose you, wasn't you humble in your own sight? That was the key. He was humble. He was teachable. When they went to go anoint him to be king, he hid. He literally ran and hid. They had to go find him because he was humble. And then all of a sudden, he was super anointed now. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I did it. Who is you? I said I did it. So you don't want to be morphed into being religious, having a form of godliness, denying the power thereof, right? You got to be the type of person that's honest. Honest. If you're not doing what you should be doing, then be honest enough so you can't start doing it, or else you lining yourself up for a beat down from the Most High, right? Because whom he loved, he chastened, and he scourged every son whom he received. If you be without chastisement, then are you bastards and you're not his children. You don't listen. He whoop your butt, you run off, bang. Come here, sit down, get it right, start doing what's right, and do it consistently. Because patience having its perfect work, listen to this, it produces a consistency. It produces a faithfulness. Like, when you're in the family of Yah, what it really takes is consistency. It does, right? Like, if I come up missing, it kills the consistency. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. Everybody be looking for another place to learn and to grow in him. Real talk. Yeah. So, but I'm not the only one that's supposed to be faithful. That's right. There's supposed to be people that love Yah that's faithful, dependable, 100% too. Not, your excuse is not good enough. Right? We can't come up with excuses when we run our house, and we don't. We faithful to that. Yah is the one that's on the side that, feel me, get the crumbs. If we had anything left, we'll give this. Where you been for the last 2 months? Oh, I couldn't do it. You ain't gonna say nothing? You ain't gonna say nothing. Well, I mean, I don't serve man. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But patience is doing what he say do and functioning because you're waiting on him. So you're waiting the right way, and it said, let patience have a perfect work. I'm obeying. When you have patience, patience have a perfect work. Well, you know what that means? That means he can trust you. He can give it to you knowing it's going to get done. Period. He can trust you. Oh, yeah, I gave it to my son here. It's good. It's good. The people they're going to get the word. They're going to, you know what I mean? He ain't going to, it's done. Get a youth ministry to them and see what happens. It's done. Kids is good. Feeding is good. Oh, I blessed you. Oh, you're able to give now. Oh, it's good. Ministry ain't gonna never have to go without because of them. Give it to the wrong joker, they still struggling. Still ain't learned? Oh, you still don't like him like that, huh? Patience. Having his perfect work, I'm functioning with him. I'm not going to become religious and start paving my own way. Detach myself from the responsibility of the body.
Right.
There's a responsibility to the body. Or the body not going to function. If the body ain't functioning, it's because the people ain't functioning.
That's right.
Solo bolos. Where you been? Oh, I've been out witnessing in the... Huh? I thought the body... Oh, you solo bolo. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, God told... Yeah, God had me and I got my little flies now. What? For real? No wonder you ain't been giving. You've been buying flies. Oh. Let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing, right? Look what it say. Look what it say. It said, if you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah, right? If you're going through it and you get tired of it, he said, ask Yah. And he said he give it to every man liberally and upbraideth not. He's not going to hold back. Look what he said. But let him ask in faith. That's what he said. And what that means is, when you ask, be obedient to him. Don't start sinning and ask. I'm going to tell you something. If you start sinning and you ask, the chances of you getting the wrong answer is real large. You know how the word says, I'm teaching y'all today for real too. I mean, he's on me for whatever reason. But listen to this. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. There's a lot of spiritual counsel that people get, but it didn't come from Yah.
Okay.
And they give it. That people are receiving. Someone is giving counsel to people that are tired, but you're sinning. So when you go, look, he said, read, I'm not making this up, right? He said, when he acts, he said, he don't hold back. He said, but let him act in faith. He said, because if you don't act in faith, he said, don't you think you're going to get anything from Yah? So if you got an answer concerning what you're going through, it didn't come from Yah. Am I making this up? Let's read and see. Am I making this up? Look what it says. 5th verse. If any of you lack wisdom, look what it says. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yah. You asked him, you got an answer, but it didn't come from him. Because when you asked, you weren't obeying him. You didn't come in faith. You came complaining. Only thing he can tell you to do is repent. Okay, let me embellish on that thought a little bit more. Look what they say. Back to 6. But let him act in faith. That means obeying him. Don't get religious on me. Faith without works is dead. Let him act in faith. You're standing on his word, right? Nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven and tossed, driven with the wind and tossed. You know what the wind is? Driven with the wind. False doctrine.
Right.
You're driven. The answer is going to please your flesh, and you're going to roll with that. Because you're not obeying him anyway. Girl, if I was you, you're going to run into one of them jokers. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel, under the influence of the ungodly. You do not want ungodly people influencing you. Woe to the man that fall when he's alone. Because you need Yahweh counsel to help you get your thing back together. In the multitude of counsel, there's safety. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he's in the midst. He's trying to help you. He want to restore you. You want to recover. You do not want to be morphed into being religious. You need truth. Come on, y'all. I'm trying, y'all. No, I think it's your phone, Kim. If you frozen, because I'm moving over here, maybe refresh. Hopefully I'm not still frozen. Hopefully my voice not frozen now. Anyway. But let him act in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. What time is it, y'all?
11:18, she said.
11:19.
Okay. All right, I still got time. Okay, yeah, I got time. But you don't want to be vulnerable to the elements. Your safety is in having a true relationship, not religion, true relationship with the Most High. We got to get to the point that we belong to him and he's able to use us. Period. That's the key. We got to get to the point that we belong to him and we're a part of his governmental structure, his body, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, that's where we need to be. That we really live for him. Because that's when, feel me, that's when you got him. That's when no weapon formed against you going to prosper. That's when, he just got you. Yeah. You're going to be all right. When this fake stuff don't work, that's what causes anguish and depression. It just does so much. But anyway, it just does so much. We got to get to the point that we're in love with him and we trust him and we obey him. Even to the point that when you do something wrong, you still belong to him. If you do something wrong, he said, don't cover it. Confess, be honest, and forsake. Be willing to stop doing it. Walk away from it, right? And then you'll have mercy, right? If you do something wrong, he said he was chasing you. And it's encouraging that in Corinthians 11 chapter, he said that if we judge ourselves, you know how cool that is? That all I got to do is be honest with myself. I'm wrong. If you judge yourself, you won't be judged. He ain't going to say nothing if I say I'm wrong. If I'm wrong and I admit it,
Right.
oh, man, that's a touchdown. And he's okay with it, you good. I was finna come comb your doggone hair, too. Okay. I just picked up a comb. And was on my way, and you prayed that night and said, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm sorry. Oh, we put the comb down. Your hair looking cool. Yeah, no, I'm finna give you a shag. Last time we seen a shag. I'm gonna knock that Gumby, what they call it, the Gumby. I'm knocking that joker down. You finna get a shag.
Wow.
But you repented. Now you can keep your Gumby. But see how we function in Yah. See, look, when we function in Yah, wherever the Messiah is, I'm trying to tell y'all something. But when we function in Yah, this is the truth. I want you to hear me. When we function in Yah, our children is blessed. Did y'all know that? For more than one reason. And we're a part of the blessing. Did you know when we function as a body, Yahudah, and our children benefit from it. Because we're blessed, we bless them. Organizational structure happens because everyone is working.
Okay.
The word goes better for them. The activities, everything that they need. The protection from the world. Because Satan is after them. Through the media, through schools, through the push of this weirdness they got going on. It's earmarked straight for our children. But when we organize because we care about the house of Yah, but when you only care about your house, the devil gonna get them.
Ooh, that's so
Oh, it's
right.
the truth anyhow.
It's the truth.
The video game gonna get them, the world gonna get them because you gonna push them in the world. Because you worldly, because you don't care nothing about the things of Yah, not like you should. You more care about the things of this world. And that's what's gonna push your children towards the world. It's true.
Yeah.
But when we function in Yah, Yah will lay it on those hearts that care about his business. You find out that his business is your children. His business is your children. His business is you, because you're his children too. But you learn that. But you learn that through putting Yah first. Through caring about Yah first.
That's right.
It's true anyhow, y'all. Building a foundation for them to survive the wiles of the devil, the onslaught of the devil, the attack of the enemy. It's when they're functioning in the body, and the body has forms and sessions and things for them, because everyone is functioning. But if you got everyone is functioning on their own thing, then the only thing they have to give their children is what they have, and that's worldliness. A little thin religion, a little thin slither of religion. But when the body is functioning, you got calendar. You got a calendar of stuff to edify them in him. Oh, I'm telling the truth. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation, knowing you got to know what's going on. That you're being tested while you're still obeying, but it's a test. And while you're obeying, it's going to work patience, because you're going to learn to wait on Yah. He might not come when you want him to, according to your flesh, but he always right on time spiritually, right? If it get rough on you, ask Yah. We be having a relationship with him where we literally can ask, what is going on and what am I supposed to be doing? Listen, see, oh, he'll tell you. And he don't hold back. Ask in faith. Don't be mad at him. You in the bed with him now talking about, what should I do then? Shoot, I've been waiting. What should I do? Let him act in faith. Nothing where, because you be tossed. You gonna get. You be tossed. I said, woo. You be. Anyway, wind of doctrine tossed with the wind. Don't think you can ask anything of Yah if you don't ask in the right spirit. See, we're supposed to go to the throne of grace with boldness to make our petitions known, right? Boldness in love, trusting, bold in him, bold that he's going to answer, bold that he's not going to upbraid not, but he'll give liberally, right? Come to the throne of grace with boldness, making your petitions known, that you might obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. He's going to help you, right? Now we're going to get ready to close. I ain't finna keep y'all too much longer, right? Then it went on to say, last verse I'm going to read about it. Is a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. We got to make up our mind. That's the key. You cannot base your actions in your life on circumstances. As we get older, and those of us that got families and children and all that fun stuff, you can look at your maturity level then improved, and you become solid. If not in your personal life, right, at least in your life to the point that you have a platform that's consistent to raise a family. You can't be all over the place. You can't not establish a platform that you can raise a family on. You can't do it. You gotta somehow stop and say, this is what this is the direction I'm going in, and this is what I do daily, and this is what time I do it, and this is how I do it. And it's all mapped out. Consistency, right? If you double-minded, you be in shelters with your children. You be. So, spiritually, it's the same thing. We got to learn how to not be double-minded, caught in between two opinions. Mm-hmm. If Yah's real, then serve Yah. Right. And if he ain't, don't. Okay. Period. A double-minded man is unstable in all his way. And then the time to become double-minded is when the tests come. That's when folks like to get double-minded. They be solid as long as everything's going cool. But when the tests come, when the woman come or the man come, when they start getting greedy and feeling like they finna succeed in life and they start hoarding and taking care of themselves and all, that's when the tests come. That's when all the preacher wants is my money. He better be happy with I don't know, he think he thoughts like that don't happen. Hey, it's cold. It's cold. Let me tell you something, then we're gonna get out of here, right? But this is real cold, right? This is cold when you work and you don't get paid. That's cold. And folks don't like to look at it like that when it comes to Yah. Folks start thinking free. Free. Look, let me give you an example and then I'm gone. This was laid in my heart, just out of nowhere, right? It's just like, boom. I was like, oh yeah, I know what laid it in my heart. Anyway, I ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say this. If you throw a concert and I buy a ticket, it's because what you're doing is worth the money. You're about to do something, and it's worth money to me, and I purchase a ticket because there's value in what you do. Is there value in the gospel?
Yes. Priceless.
Should we be like muzzling the mouth of the ox to tread out the corn? I think it's fair. I think that was a concept that just hit me too. It just like, whoa, this is my way of supporting what they're doing. Saying thank you, I enjoy what you hear. And you buy a ticket and you support it. And when a person has value of something, a value, right? They support it. And when they don't value it, or if Yah forbid they value it, but they scandalous. In other words, I'm going to come to your concert, I'm going to sneak in. Because I value what you do. I enjoy it. It's good, but I ain't paying. Prayerfully, that type of foul spirit don't hover. Because if the value is there, the words say, don't muzzle the mouth of the ox and tread out the corn. And the cold part about it is bigger than that. It goes to the platform. There's a platform that needs to be established for the furtherance of Yah's business, for the furtherance of the gospel. That's the truth. That is the truth. You buy the ticket to support what's on that stage because you must agree with it. You must agree with it if you bought a ticket. You must agree with it if you give. You must agree with it, and I'm all in. And Yah looks for faithful people. He had a problem with people sitting in their sealed houses while his house go waste. We supposed to be all in completely. When I say completely, I mean we supposed to meditate his word both day and night. We're supposed to be hiding the word in our heart. We're supposed to teach our children morning, noon, and night. We're supposed to be a platform for them to grow from. That's what it's supposed to be. And we need to come up. We need to come up. Because a double-minded man, it's hard to deal with someone double-minded because one day they with you and the next day they ain't. Right. And then they back with you again and then they ain't. Right. They up one day, then they die. What can you establish? You can't establish nothing. You can't establish no family. You can't establish no business. You can't establish no ministry. You can't establish even a friendship. You mad at me again? Man, I can't even hang with you. I got 2 movie tickets for now. I'm finna rip the other one. I'm finna go back to bed. A double-minded man is unstable in all his way. Let's be with Yah, y'all. Let's be with Yah. If you're with him, be with him. If you're not, one thing he don't do, he stood at the door and knocked. He ain't kicked it in. You know how people be talking that? No, he did not. He stood at the door and knocked like he said. He said, if any man hear and open, he ain't going to even open the door. It ain't no come in. And then he opened the door. No, if any man open the door, he shall come in. And I sup. But he ain't forcing nobody to do nothing. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sitting here because I chose to. And I've been choosing to do this for many, 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 many years. By choice. And I'm continue to keep rolling with him through the ups and the downs. What look good or bad, I'm still rolling with him because I choose to. And I pray you guys do the same. Give Yah praise because he's worthy. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hey, that was the lesson for today. We prayed the word found you and unbound you if he was bound. And that we govern ourselves according to truth moving forward. Let's pray. Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you, humble to know how, gleaning in your word, that we learn to count it all joy with the tests, being proven, being tried, being made better, baptized in the fire. You get hot, so we become better, learning to wait on you, learning to trust you, even for the times to come. The punishment of the earth is at hand, and we need to trust you even through the process, even for the rescue of your children. We're casting our cares upon you, knowing that you care. We trust you not only with our lives, but the lives of our family, even our children. Continue to be merciful to us. Show us the way. Even our children is not born yet. We're trusting you with everything. Acknowledge you in all our ways, that you might direct our path. Dispatch your angel text about us, keep us safe. As we leave this place, but never your divine presence, be careful to give you the praise and honor, not only now, but forevermore. In the matchless name of Yahushua HaMashiach, we humbly pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And all. Amen. Give Yah praise because he's worthy. Hallelujah. That was the lesson for today. We pray that the word found you and unbound you. Bless you. If you were blessed by the lesson, push the share button so the word can bless somebody else. If you're supporting this ministry, we want to say thank you. I know y'all do for sure. And if you'd like to become one, if you have the cash app, all you got to do is put in $ Yahudah Israel. That's YAHUDAHYISRAEL. Y'all be Baruch and Baruch Shalom. I'm gone.